Last night, ABC investigators showed you how your tax dollars are being mismanaged to help people with disabilities start their own businesses.
Including a 7-time convicted felon who's on the lam again. Tonight, the agency's top boss tells our Tom Sussi that his investigation is a real eye-opener.
I'm going to have all of our counselors watch this story.
Mandatory homework from the director of Ohio's Opportunities with Ohioans with Disabilities. The assignment? Watch ABC 6 investigators report from last night on the agency's self-employment program.
Is this the sort of people we want to give money to, tax money to?
Funded solely with your tax dollars, the program helps people with disabilities who would have trouble finding work go into business for themselves. A program, as we reported last night,
I want to check the facts.
That has some concerning flaws.
We are not perfect. Occasionally mistakes are made or outliers slip through the cracks.
Brad Reynolds, OOD's spokesperson, fielded questions about those mistakes and cracks we uncovered in our investigation. Kevin Miller, the agency's executive director, agreed to sit down with us and discuss what he plans to do about it. He says our investigation will help guide his decisions.
We'll look at this and other ways that we can try to tighten up our policy so that something like this doesn't happen.
Like the case of Darren McGowan.
1, 2, 3.
Last year, the former homeless ex-con was given thousands of dollars for his bike tour and rental business. The business was short-lived, about 6 months. We wanted answers. After all, your tax dollars bankrolled his business.
I love bikes. I love bikes. I love what bikes can do for people.
Watch what happens when we caught up with McGowan.
Come on, Darren.
He quickly pedaled off on his bike. We followed in our news car.
Darren, why don't you just answer the questions?
McGowan was sent to Ohio State Prison 7 times for theft and burglary, doing a total of 9 years behind bars.
Darren McGowan.
ABC 6 investigators learned he's in trouble with the law again. Tonight, there's 2 warrants out for his arrest, stealing from this JCPenney outlet store and Walmart. Miller says they can't eliminate ex-cons from the program.
That would be discriminatory.
But tells me they must do a better job of screening clients before green-lighting businesses.
I think what we need to do is really tighten up the ability to screen people to see if they are going to be successful. I think bring outside business people maybe before a review panel that can review this to maybe increase the scrutiny before we see dollars being spent.
Keeping track of those tax dollars is something else where the agency falls short. Between 2010 and 2012, OOD doled out $5.3 million to 464 clients to start their own businesses. Yet the agency can't tell us how many of them are still in business. Miller agrees that's a problem.
We should know. I think the only way you could really probably track that is if you extend that type of time period.
As it stands, OOD is only required to monitor businesses for 90 days, as required by federal guidelines. Miller says that's just not enough time to determine whether or not a business will be successful.
Having a business is not easy to have, whether you have a disability or not. You can't, obviously go over what the federal guidelines are. But there are things you can do within that that can make the program be a lot better, and I think that's one of the things we're going to be trying to do.
Miller says our investigation was a real eye-opener.
We'll look at this and other ways that we can try to tighten up our policies.
But our investigation isn't over. OOD refuses to tell us how much money Darren McGowan was given for his failed bike business. The agency also refuses to give us information about those other 463 clients who received money to start businesses between 2010 and 2012. We want to know what happened to that $5.3 million.
How many other Darren McGowans are out there?
We don't know.
We need the list for that, yeah.
We don't know. We're trying to get that information. They tell us it's private, it's confidential.
But if it's taxpayer money, how is it private confidential?
True. And what happened to transparency of government?
Right.
All we're asking for is transparency.
Yeah, it's a sunshine issue, it seems, and I know you'll keep hammering away at it.
We are.
Look forward to getting track of it.
Thank you, Tom.
Thanks,
Got
Tom.
it.
And if you have a tip for Tom and our ABC6 investigators, you can give them a call at 614-255-NEWS, or you can drop them an email at tips@abc6onyourside.com. And remember, you can remain anonymous.